Hello cheapskaters, welcome to our channel. My name's Kath and I created the Cheapskates Club a little over 23 years ago. At the Cheapskates Club, our goal is to live life debt-free, cashed up and laughing. And I've been sharing how my family has managed to do that for a very long time. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome. And of course, if it's not, you know what I'm going to say, welcome back. And a belated, slightly belated, welcome to 2025. I hope everyone had a lovely Christmas and New Year. And no matter how you celebrated or didn't celebrate, I hope that you are all here ready to start cheapskating in earnest. I have a lot planned for the Cheapskates Club this year, and I hope that you'll all join the fun with me. It's going to be a mammoth year. Now, let's get started because it is a new year, and so for us that means a new budget, probably for some of you too. And I say a new budget because budgets aren't set in cement. They're supposed to be fluid and they're supposed to adapt and change as our circumstances do. So I like to start a new budget every January and run a January-December budget. If you're new to budgeting, I suggest that's the way you do it. It's easier to keep track of. It just seems to go with the calendar. It works. If you're an old hand at budgeting, keep watching. I might be able to share a trick or two with you or pick one up from you. Now, I really love budgets. I love going over our figures. I love watching the savings grow and the bills get paid. I like seeing that zero balance. And tonight I want to show you just how easy it is and how I manage our budget without gazillion fancy, expensive, overrated binders and folders and boxes and jars and, oh my goodness, whatever else they're flogging over on Etsy. Over the holidays, when I was supposed to be having a break, I decided to find out, absolutely certainly for sure for me, what all the hoopla is about. Cash stuffing. It's the envelope method, folks. And sinking funds. Well, they're just peace of mind accounts. Nothing fancy, nothing particularly new. In fact, they're not new at all. Just faddish names given to an old thing. Peanut butter, peanut paste. That sort of thing. They've both been around since people have been dealing with money. Anyway, by the end of a couple of hours of watching these videos on YouTube, I was so frustrated. I was just about ready to tear my hair out. These people make living within your means and saving money so very complicated, and it doesn't have to be. They had folders, as in multiple, and each folder had compartments, lots and lots and lots of compartments. Then there were the saving challenge envelopes, boxes, packets, jars, tins, folders for multiple savings challenges. Now, I'm all for having a written budget and for building an emergency fund and for saving up for things that we want rather than going into debt for them or even putting them on tick. But boy, was my head aching after watching just a few of these videos. They were so complicated. And then there were the colours and the stickers and the highlighters and the clips and the charms and just junk. It struck me that all that stuff had cost them a lot of money because not one YouTuber that I watched used something they made. Everything came from so-and-so or Jane Doe's Etsy shop or Joe Blogg's store. And that's great that they are supporting each other. Perfect. That's what we should do. But I followed a few of those links and none of it was what I'd call even remotely affordable, let alone cheap. It was all quite expensive. By the time you added it all up, it was very expensive. So tonight we're going to talk real budgeting, my way. In real life, real budgeting my way in real life, and real budgeting the cheapskate's way. It's the way that really works. That's going to help you pay down debt. It will help you build an emergency fund. It will help you build some savings, and you will do it all within your means. So someone asked me a couple of days ago what that meant. When I say live within your means, I'm saying live within the income that you have, the money that you have coming in. Preferably you'll live under it so you have some excess to save, but you certainly want to aim to not overspend and go over and spend more than you have coming in, because that's the fast road to debt. And once you do that, it is nearly impossible to get out of it. You will be making a lot of sacrifices and working very hard if that happens. So aim to live within your means, always. I want to be nice here. I will be nice. Living within your means should be everyone's goal. Whether you choose to live the cheapskate's way or not, doesn't matter. Living within your means should be your goal. Now, I'm just going to clarify and say that as I explained this is how we budget and how we work our money. And yes, we work our money. It has to benefit us. So it has to work for us. Now, we work on an almost cash budget system. You'll find that there's 3 types of budget. There's straight cash, where everything, and I mean everything, is paid in cash. Then there are the budgeters who prefer a digital budgeting system. They never have cash on them. They never see cash. They never go to an ATM or a bank and withdraw cash. They use a debit card, sometimes a credit card, to pay for everything from groceries to parking to movie tickets. They use direct debit and BPay to pay their bills, and they track it all on a spreadsheet. And usually they have a few different bank accounts to do that. Then there's the budgeters like me. I use cash for the bulk of our purchases, and I use direct debit for the things that can't easily be paid in cash, like insurances and utility bills, rates, and things like that. For us, at this point in our lives, this is the method that works best for us. It's not practical for me to try and do everything in cash. I wish I could. Just is not that practical for me at this point in time in our lives. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it. You know, CommBank's charging $3 now for over-the-counter cash withdrawals. Your money out of your bank account, and they're charging you $3 for it. And their excuse was, well, they don't have a lot of cash and most people are going digital, which is really quite funny because only a few weeks ago, our Federal Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, and our Prime Minister, Mr. Albanese, were saying that, no, everybody should use cash. Cash is king. Cash will always be king. They are going to make sure that we stay a cash-based society. And that came about when we had that hiccup with the internet banking just before Christmas, early December. And they were quite quite adamant that no, cash. Everyone should have access to cash. They were going to make sure, well, they need to jump up and down and do something about these banks, because it's the banks that are forcing the digital currency, not the people. Anyway, that's just my little point, my opinion, folks. Like it, lump it, doesn't really matter. Let me get back to what I was talking about. I'm going to share tonight my version of the envelope system. Now, some of you know that envelope system is cash stuffing, and some of you may even think that cash stuffing is a new thing. It's not. It's as old as, I don't know, it's as old as the hills. It's as old as money. It's as old as people have had debt. It's just a fancy name for envelope budgeting. Your mum, your grandma, your great-grandma probably did envelope budgeting. You want to be different. You do cash stuffing. Same thing, folks. Truly it is. Now, I use pencil cases for cash stuffing. These ones, see, I've labelled them. Got my name on it, so the family knows this is mine and do not touch it. And I've labelled them. I've gone through and labelled them with however much for the month. Can you see it? Mad Money. I have craft. I have fuel. I have the chemist. I have birthdays. Christmas. Slush fund. Clothes. We're big spenders when it comes to clothes, guys. And holidays. You can see where we want to put our money. These are my cash envelopes. Now, these are just pencil cases from Kmart. I believe at the moment Kmart have them for 20 cents each. Big W has them for 25 cents each. If you think that they are going to work for you, that's where you get them from. I'm not sure about Officeworks. Now, I like them because, unlike my envelopes that fell apart, these are quite sturdy and they're nice and big, and there's a zip so I can open it and close it, and the money will stay in there. They're big enough to hold notes and coins, which is important. And I like to make up a little bank deposit, like a little deposit slip. So every time I put money into it, I put in how much I've put in and what the balance will be. And if I take money out of it, I obviously adjust the balance so that I always know what's in our envelopes at a glance. I write that sort of information in the front of my planner too, which is just there. And each week or month, as I add to it, I adjust the balances. I stuff them with cash. They're my envelopes, my cash stuffers. Now, I'd love a completely cash budget, but like I said, it's not quite practical for us at this stage of our life. It's just not going to work. So I do pay things like our rates, the electricity, the gas, the water, our phone bill, internet, the insurances, that sort of thing are all paid online. They come out of our bill account, and yeah, they're paid. I pay the car registration online. Now, all that money has already been saved because it's part of our budget. So each month, X amount of dollars for each thing is put into the account so that when that bill falls due, the money is there to pay for it. I don't have to use my credit card. In fact, I can't use my credit card because I don't have a credit card. Wayne doesn't have a credit card. We do have debit cards, but we don't have credit cards. I try to keep everything else that we deal with to cash. the groceries, like I said, the groceries, the fuel, everything like that. Now, from our budget, I know how much cash to withdraw each month, and then I just put it into the envelopes. I stuff it into the envelopes or the pencil cases. And I do feel sorry for anyone who's behind me at the ATM when I'm doing the banking, because I do multiple withdrawals so I can get the right denominations, notes, the right number of 50s, the right number of 20s to make up what I need in my purses and my pencil cases. So when I get home, I move the rest of the money that's needed for that month's budget, for the insurance, the phone bill, etc., to the bill account. It's easy. Next thing I do, make a cuppa. I sit down with the cash, my pencil cases, I stuff them, I make a note on the little deposit slip. I jot down the balance, the date, how much money I've added to it, what the total is. You get the idea. And that's it. The budgeting's done. The banking's done. Then all I have to do is when I want to go shopping and I want to buy groceries, I go to the grocery purse, I get the money, off we go. If there's no money in it, we don't buy groceries. Same for the clothes or the holidays or the birthdays, the Christmas. I let the balance build up for those things each month. I don't take the money out. I don't do zero balance budgeting. I let those things build up because I don't buy birthday presents every month. I don't buy Christmas things every month. So I let it build up so the money is there when I need it. Now, the only exception is the grocery pencil case. At the end of the month, any leftover money gets taken out and put into the slush fund, and I start again with $350. That's my month's grocery budget. That's how I do it. Fuel, I let sit. I don't buy fuel every week, but I still budget for it every week. I used to buy fuel every week, which is, why I budget for it every week. But I let it sit and I let it build up. And anything that's extra when we go on holidays, that helps towards the cost of the fuel for our holidays. It means we're not digging into savings to pay for that, or we're able to do a different kind of holiday than one that, we do if we didn't have that extra fuel money. And as I said, the rest build up until they are needed. That's it. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try and break it down into too many categories, especially if you find budgeting difficult, and especially if you're new to it. If you love figures and playing with numbers and fiddling the books, go right ahead and make it as complicated as you like. But most people don't. And they don't want to have to spend hours every week working on it. I can do it in the time. I make a cuppa, I have a cup of tea, I sit down, I grab my diary, purses, the money, I go over it, 10 minutes tops, it's done. Usually finished before I've finished my cup of tea. So it's really easy to do. There's a simple budget planner on our website under the tip sheets page. On the tip sheets page, use it. Log in and use it. It's really simple. Keep it simple and your budget will work. Trust me on this. You're going to create a strategy for budgeting success. You're going to create a simple strategy for budgeting success, and then you will succeed. People start a budget, and aside from overcomplicating it, they don't really put the time in. They don't. It's all pretty, especially, they buy a fancy planner, They buy a fancy budget book. They've got the folders, the binders, whatever they're called, with all the pockets and compartments and things. They've got the trinkets. They've got the highlighters, all the stickers. But unless they actually work it and use it to control their money, it's wasted time, wasted energy. Okay, thank you everyone for putting up with the earlier video. What a disaster that was. And now this one's just gone straight through, not a problem. So before you go, please be sure to like our show, or if you're watching on the replay, give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button so we can notify you of new videos and live shows, and you won't miss out on anything from the Cheapskates Club. And lastly, something you can do that will really help our channel grow is to share this video. Don't share the dodgy one, guys. Share this one. There's a share button that will send the link to this show to your friends and family, and that's it. We don't contact them. We don't annoy them. It's entirely up to them if they choose to come across and watch it or not. Growing our channel is one of the things I'd really like to do this year, and it's really important to me because it means we're spreading the word that it is possible to live the Cheapskates way, which is debt-free, cashed up and laughing, even in 2025. So hopefully this will turn out better. I will see you all next week. But in the meantime, have a great week and happy cheapskating, everyone.